Hello, welcome to video 2 for week number 1 for the Tree of Life crochet along. We've already worked in the first video. We worked the first 2 rows of single crochets. We put our stitch markers in where they belong. We put one at every 48 stitches, and we're going to start on the trees, and this is just one pair of trees, and there are 3, and I am going to be doing this and marking off every time. It'll help me count and keep track of all the stitches. And all these numbers, let's see, just this one, 14, 4, 12, 4, 14. That represents this right here. Like for row number 1 of the tree chart, it'll be the right side. We'll be starting over here, and this is 14 single crochets, 4 front post double crochets, 12 single crochets, another 4 front post double crochets, and then 12 single crochets. So with the single crochets, it's going to be 14, 12, and 14 again. And you're going to do that 3 times for every row. Okay, so I'm going to move this back. And let's mark row 1. And what I like to do is, before I do it, before I make these stitches, I like to do this. Okay, so let's do 14 single crochets. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I've already worked 1 single crochet. Two, 3, 4, 5. Zoom this in a little bit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we've done these 14 that we wrote down. So put your comma. All right, that means that I am done with that 14. And another thing that I wanted to do is go ahead and pull that loop up a little bit. Before we go on, pull the loop up a little bit. Grab a stitch marker. Grab another one. I'm going to get a different color. Okay. It's just a little piece of yarn. Okay, and I want you to count 5 stitches over, okay, from that number 14 that you just finished. 1, 2, 3. Let me start over. The camera's in my way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On number 5, put a piece of yarn or a stitch marker. This will help you in just a minute. Just put a little stitch marker. We're going to take it out in just a minute. Okay. So put your hook back in the loop. And now we are going to work 4 front post double crochets around these single crochets. And you know, single crochets are short, so there's a little bitty post. See that? That's the single crochet post of the next stitch. And there's the single crochet post of the next stitch after that. And when you work a front post single or a front post stitch, since it's called a front post, you go in through the front and you pull that stitch below it forward. Okay, if this were a back post double crochet, we would be going in through the back to pull it, to pull the work to the back. Okay, so the very next post that you see, that belongs to the next stitch. Okay, so don't skip it and go on to that one. It's right there. It belongs to this stitch. So yarn over, and it looks like you're going to be making 2 stitches in the same stitch, but you're not. Go on in through that stitch and come out through the next hole, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and there's your front post double crochet. Okay, now the next post, yarn over and work a front post double crochet. That's 2. That's 3. And find the next post. Double crochet. That's 4. Alrighty. Now, the reason I had you mark it with a little temporary stitch marker is you might be tempted to go in, because now we're doing some single crochets, but we just did the 4. So I didn't mark it. I'll mark the 4, and these are front posts. So I'm putting 4F and then comma because we're done. Okay, and it looks like this is the next stitch, but it's not. That hole right there goes with that post. Okay, this post belongs to this stitch. The next single crochet is right here where you put your stitch marker, and that's why it's kind of important. And then after the first row or 2 of doing this, you really don't need to put a stitch marker because it becomes more obvious. So single crochet into the stitch with a stitch marker. Okay, and now I'm going to remove the stitch marker. That's single crochet number 1, and we're going to do 12. Can you see that? I'm going to put 12 right there, and we already did 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that's 12 single crochets. Let's put a comma after the number 12. Next, we need to do another 4 front post, 4 front posts. So remove your hook, pull up a loop and remove your hook. And this seems really tedious, but it really helps. So it's so worth it. Okay, wherever your last stitch is, count over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hook in there and let's add a stitch marker. Alrighty, let's pick up our loop again. Now we can do our 4 front post double crochets. And we go into go behind the very next little post there of the single crochet. So yarn over and pick up that very next post. And it looks like you're doing it wrong, but you're not. Finish your double crochet, yarn over, and this does get easier. It gets a lot easier to see the higher up you go. Go in the next post, go around it and do your double crochet for number 2. And if you hold it straight up, the front post double crochet that you just did, then you'll be able to see where the next post is a lot easier. Okay, and there's number 3, double crochet, I'm going to hold it straight up, and there's the next one right there. Go in for your front post double crochet number 4. Okay, and you can tell that those stitches are taller. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is why we mark our number 5, because it does look like we need to go into this stitch, but we don't. It's number 5 is right here with a single crochet. Okay, so add that single crochet right there, and remove your stitch marker. Okay, we have one single crochet. Let's put a comma after this 4F, and now put 14. We need to do 14 single crochets. Excuse my messy handwriting. It's at a weird angle for me. Okay, we already did one. Now we need to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and here we are at number 14, and it's also number 48 of this tree pair, of the first pair of trees. Okay, so let's put in our last single crochet, and that marks it as done. So that's 48 stitches, and that's 48 stitches, and that's 48 stitches. Okay, so this is row 1, and you've got the first pair of trees done on the bottom panel of trees. Okay, I'm going to, where are we at? We're at 17 minutes. Good. Okay, I'm going to crochet along. Let's crochet along and see if we can get through this row together. Okay, so I know I need to do 14 next. So let's do our number 14. Okay, next chain, or I'm sorry, next stitch, single crochet, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and I'm going to put a comma since we've already done our 14, and I am going to mark the 5th one over. Okay, one, two, three, four, 5. Okay, that marker is so helpful. Okay, pick up your stitch and go into this very next post right here because it belongs to the next stitch, and we're going to do 4 front post double crochets, and really doesn't look right when you're looking at it, since we're only doing 4 front post double crochets, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts right there. Well, this one belongs to this stitch, this one belongs to this stitch, this one belongs to this stitch, and this one belongs to this stitch. And then this one belongs to your stitch number 5, okay? And that's where we're going to put a single crochet. So we have 4 available posts, single crochet posts. Let's make our front post double crochets, yarn over, and that very next post, go in, yarn over, sorry about that, okay, and double crochet, and remember, hold it up straight, and you can tell where the next little post is. Okay, and finish your double crochet, and the next post is right there. Make your front post double crochet number 3, and one more. There's the post that we need to go around. Front post double crochet number 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's, oh, I didn't write it down, 4, and then we're done, so the comma. And next we have 12, let's write it down, 12 single crochets in where the stitch marker is. So single crochet number 1, and I'm going to remove the stitch marker, okay, that was number 1 single crochet, and we need 12. So let's go with the next one. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let's put a comma. And now we need 4 front post. And of course I'm going to add my little stitch marker on stitch number 5. Okay, so one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pick up my loops. Now we're going to do 4 front post double crochets. Go around that very next post, go in through the front and back out through the front, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your first 4 front post double crochets. hold it straight up, and you'll see the next little post. Yarn over and pick up that post and do your double crochet number 2, and hold it straight up, and it's easier to see. Okay, that's number 3. And number 4, front post double crochet number 4. And now comma, that means we're done with our front post, and now we need 14 single crochets. Okay, and our first crochet goes into where the stitch marker is. One, and let's remove the stitch marker. That was 1. Okay, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right where your stitch marker is. 14, okay, and mark it. So we have done 2 sections of 48 stitches, and we have 1 more to go on this row, and it just takes a lot of counting. Okay, and let's see if I can make it not so close up, and maybe that'll actually look better. Okay, so what we're going to do is write our number 14, because we need 14 single crochets. So into the next stitch, 1 single crochet, into the next stitch, 2 single crochets, and so on and so on. 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 14. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so let's put a comma. Okay, now we need 4 front post double crochets, but before we do, let's mark number 5. Sure as I don't, I will put that first single crochet in the wrong stitch. So one, two, three, four, five. Okay. Now we're going to do 4 front post double crochets, and we know that we need to go around this post right here. And do your double crochet, 1, hold it straight, and you'll be able to see where the next little shorty post is. Right there. Yarn over and do your front post double crochet, 2, there it is, the next one, yarn over, do your front post double crochet, 3, and 4. See, it looks like you need to go into this one, but no, that's the same one. That stitch belongs to this front post double crochet. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put a comma after that, and now write 12. We need to do 12 single crochets. The first one goes into that stitch where the stitch marker is. 1, and let's remove the stitch marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Put your comma after that 12 and write 4F for 4 front post double crochets. And I'm definitely going to mark it again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to mark number 5 over. All right. Okay, and now we're going to do 4 more front post double crochets. And do you see where you go into your pick up the first post? It's right there. Yarn over and go in and pick up that first little post and finish off your double crochet and hold it up straight to find the next little post. Yarn over, make your front post. Oh, nope, I didn't do something right. Okay, yarn over and pick up the post and finish off your double crochet. That's number 2, and there's the next little post. Okay, I think I picked up something I shouldn't have, so let me start that stitch over. Okay, that's a lot easier. And this is number 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's the next one. Number 4 of your front post double crochets, and let's mark it. Let's put a comma after the 4F and write the number 14, and we'll start with right there, that stitch, put a single crochet. Okay, remove your stitch marker. Okay, that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay, we're done with this row. And let's mark it, and we'll put a check. That row is done. Okay. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 groups of front post double crochets. Okay, now we're going to, where is this at? This is at 38. I'm going to stop this video and then we'll move on to the next row. All right, we'll see you for video number 3.